Hey!
Hi.
Hi,
I like your
everyone.
earrings.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to
That's so
say the brand
pretty.
name so that they would see
It's just so that
they'll see
when
their
we start,
collection and then they'll ask me to be their
their ambassador.
ambassador. That's the plan.
Okay, now no wahala. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I was not feeling well like
Oh,
a few days ago. I was not feeling well for like 3 days. Safe. That was It was not.
is
It
it the
was not
flu that's
nice.
going round?
Yeah, of course. There's always a flu going. There's always a flu going. Yeah, it's the flu. And I didn't go to the hospital because I know that it's most likely the same thing that I will be told. Oh, it's the flu going around. Use XYZ thing.
Actually,
Oh.
they'll first ask you if it's flu symptoms. They'll tell you to stay at home.
Yes, you
because
said it's that too. Exactly.
It's not a
So every time my mom was saying, "Have you gone to the hospital?" I'm like, I don't have to go to the hospital. But I'm fine now, as you can see.
That's good to yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Sorry to
Thank you for asking. I'm fine.
well, that is
I what I was saying in the last episode that 10 has been happening. So I
Yeah.
had a very annoying trip to A&E recently. First of all, women are going through a lot. Let's start there.
God I beg.
And if you are on my WhatsApp status, you know that I always complain about IUD and contraceptive. Look at me. I'm talking about contraceptive.
Big girl.
So
Yes, now.
So I talk about it a lot. And then the current one I have, the one I have is the copper coil. Apart, that one is painful, but then if you already have like heavy bleeding or period pains, it's going to be even more. And I opted for that one because I didn't want any more hormones or something because I have hormonal imbalance. My dear, gosh, I would just randomly have pain. Like, so the way I would describe it, there's the usual cramps that you have with your legs, your back, and all of that. But this one, the pain started going into my hips, like the bones. So I've been experiencing that for like 6 months, and then there was a tolerance I built towards it that I was always in pain. I was never not in pain. Now I don't even know what not being in pain feels like.
Wow.
But then it now go to a level where I was just like, okay, I may be dying right now, but let me go to the hospital and find out. So I went to work. It was a weekend that I was on duty. So we took the kids on a trip. We came out of South Kensington. We were going to the National History Museum. As I was walking, I was just like... So I got back. But then I thought about it because there were just two of us on duty that evening. And I was like, if I leave, this person would be on their own. Obviously, there will be stuff to cover. But
Yeah.
I was just thinking in that
Yeah, in
perspective.
that line.
And then I just found myself holding on. The next day, we were going to be 3 on duty. So if one person is off, they will not really feel it like that. So I just called my line manager. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm heading to A&E. First of all, let me just say, I've been to A&E a couple of times. I've taken kids and all. The day A&E experience is a lot better
Than the night one.
than the night one. Because maybe night shift people are just angry that they are not sleeping.
No,
or
they're
something.
tired.
But yeah, so there was a whole lot of experience. I don't want to go into that and all, but I'm fine now.
Oh, that's good.
I'm fine.
Sounds like a very, very interesting week. We have a guest,
Yes.
and our guest is Ayomide.
Hi.
It's so good to be here.
Hi, it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So, how was your own week too? How has your week been?
Stressful?
I can imagine.
Why? Do tell.
You say now why did I?
Because I work with children.
Oh, I said, oh, you didn't have any medical emergencies like us, and with any.
I think right now I'm just trying to deal with the cold. and the flu.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I have something to say about Ayomide. So one of the reasons why I liked you was not just because we work in education. You're the only person in church that would not be like, I've not seen you in like 2 weeks. Because when we spoke for the first time, and I just said I work in the boarding school, you just understood immediately.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the whole thing of because you work in education, you understand the demands and
Yeah.
being on duty. So I actually appreciated that I was not getting every Sunday. You are here.
Yeah, oh.
Wow, you graced us
That's
with your
shock.
presence.
Oh, that's nice.
So thank you for that. But yeah,
You're
just wanted to
welcome.
say
You're
that.
welcome. You're welcome.
I mean,
I understand. Why is the same
So
field?
it is well.
Yeah.
We're talking about health. our topic today is relating to health. Coincidentally, it's about Black women and strong Black women. Black women feel. I'm not sure which one we'll choose. Black women are strong. Black women feel no pain. Strong Black women. All of those things. But and it sounds like a very deep topic. But because we are also not that serious, so we try to balance, serious and not serious.
We try.
We try.
But because I'm here, I'm the mood killer. So I go into deep things.
So I'd like to start with healthcare in Nigeria / versus here, right? Because growing up, I know that there are things that we have in the house that we see as the ultimate to everything. Anything that is wrong with you like this, you just know this is the same one first thing that your mother will give you to go and drink. Is it that maybe there's agbo or for flu is aboniki or
stomach pain, flagyl,
yes. or Buscopan. You've eaten too much Andrew liver salt. Before they take you to the hospital, something must have
body's hot. Malaria.
Exactly, malaria. I've got what's that very common malaria? Amatem. All those things they'll just we even had a first aid box in the house. It's not first aid.
It's not first aid.
It is malaria drugs.
Because if you want to go into the first aid box, it's not.
All of those things.
Medicine box.
Fun fact: when I was coming to the UK, I bought like loads of flagyl.
Aboniki.
Yes, aboniki. Yes, Rob.
The one I brought from Nigeria 2020, I still have them because it was like a box of, it was this much. That was how like a lot of aboniki and Rob that I brought over.
Where I used to work, a white woman calls aboniki that yellow thing. She loves it because it is so helpful in the cold. So I was working with a Nigerian, and so we'd both bring aboniki, and the office would be smelling
mentally.
And she liked it. So anytime anybody is traveling, she say, please bring that yellow thing from Nigeria. Bring that that yellow thing from Nigeria. So I have a lot of that yellow thing from Nigeria in my room because I'm always prepared for it. And also our parents are always saying you're sick because you're pressing your phone. That's another. If you have a headache, they say it's called that phone that you're holding.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, by the time iPhone just drops my screen time for the week, I'll be like, actually, it's like it's because I'm on my phone.
That's why I have a headache.
It's like it's because I'm on my phone.
So but is there anything that you maybe brought from home like that is your go-to whenever you're not feeling well?
I think it used to be flagyl.
Until
I'll get to that later.
We'll get to that, because I don't think
I used to have it like in my bag. With Rob every time because I'm like anything that happens like
that's inhaler.
That Rob. Yes.
That's
so good in this type of weather. I still have mine. I don't know. I didn't bring it actually. Like you just
that's actually true. Anyway, so difference between back home and here is I feel like back home
pros and cons.
Pros and let me see. I think there's a
quality. There's a quality level, and then there is a wait time level. Because for here, obviously A&E experience. The average A&E wait time is 8 hours.
Yes, it is 8 hours.
8 hours, and in Nigeria, at least you know that you can be seen that day. For like whatever you know that you'll be seen that day.
Yeah,
but it's even weird because I remember all my hospital visits in Nigeria. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting for so long, and I left in the morning. I know I will get back home by 11 or 12. And I was complaining. But now, my entire day is just there in the hospital. And I'm like...
And then you might not even end up
being seen. Or they will not get to the bottom of the issue or something like that. So,
but do you think that is because in Nigeria, a lot of people had private healthcare to an extent, like private hospitals? And was it like that in general hospitals in Nigeria?
I think two reasons. Yes, because private care at some point was better and the quality was better. Also, because of what we talked about before, a lot of people would do a lot of home remedies and stuff.
So that's true.
The hospitals were like, unless you're actually dying or it's like
it's a chronic
illness, terminal something, and then they'll just be like, actually, it's like we should go to the doctor.
And I know that we didn't used to need to book an appointment. My mother would enter the car.
Yes, and then you just buy card. You buy your card and they say, wait for the doctor.
And you wait till they call your name, give you your file. But here you have to book an appointment. I think I booked. There's something that I've been struggling with. I booked an appointment earlier in the month. My appointment is 18th of. They gave me. Said the closest we have is. I said just give me. Because
Do you know what?
I know
You
that.
will be
one thing.
begging them. Like,
That's one thing. Another thing I now consider is because I have a day off every week.
yeah.
I now have to schedule my appointment
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that day off. So I don't have a life one. But then I'll now say, okay, do you have any appointments available on this day? Then I'm
Yeah.
like, actually, in 3 months. I'm just like, but what if I'm not? Like, you don't, like, what if, like,
Yeah.
there wasn't one I experienced, like, I was looking forward to it. So the whole copper coil and all, they're like, okay, we're going to have it changed to something else that's less painful. They're like, February 20th is the date. So this was in January. I went to A&E like January 13th and all. They're like, okay. They didn't want to take it out then because they're like, we're not sure it's the IUD that's causing this pain. After they found that it was IUD, they were like, actually it is, but we can't take it out now. You have to go to your GP. So I went to the GP. They now booked an appointment February 20th. Last week I was just like, yes, I'm almost there. They now sent me an email and a text. Sorry, we've cancelled the women's clinic and the next available date is March. March 20th or something. I was just like, at least on that Thursday that I'm free. So it's good that way. Like, so the appointment.
I think it's just annoying, actually, when you look at the whole appointment thing, because it's ridiculous. First of all, the ones that, like, drives me nuts is, like, you want to get an appointment to see your GP, and they say, oh, we open 8 o'clock. Why am I calling you 8 o'clock and I'm number 30-something?
Because everybody's on the line.
Why?
Because
And then by the time it gets to my turn, you're telling me there's no more appointment for that day. Like,
yes, that thing happens.
it's so annoying.
Well, I have a hack for that. But I think it's relating to the GP. It depends on who your GP is. So I personally had to choose a health center as a GP and get referrals to like the main hospital. So it was easier for me to get appointments with the health with my GP because it's a health center and not a lot of people have their GPs as this thing. So if it is this area is health center, and then they need to make referrals to a bigger hospital, and I'm like, okay, we found you an appointment. So they do that, they do all that work, and then they now find me. So at least whenever I call at 8, I know I can get seen, regardless of how nonchalant the GP is that day. But I know I can get seen, and then I'm like, okay, now let's book a blood test. That is in 3 weeks' time. But I still get that call, and then they tell me that I can get seen that day. That's my hack for it, yeah.
I think for me, I just break the whole protocol. Like,
You just
I'm,
run.
I'm tired. Like, because if you keep waiting and you're like, okay, you call the second day, you're like, oh, sorry, no appointment. Like,
You have to just run and
you,
be like, help!
yeah, yes,
I'm dying! Help me!
Okay.
But yeah.
Anyway, so that brings us to the topic of today. So in as much
Yeah.
as the NHS frustrates everybody and everybody
Yeah.
complains about the NHS, which we are grateful for, don't get us wrong, we are
We are
extremely
grateful for what
grateful
we
for
paid
it.
yes,
But
yes.
from experience, not personal experience, from experience of people that talk, it feels like it is worse for Black women.
Yeah.
And there's that, a Black woman is supposed to be strong, and sometimes it feels like Black women's pains are dismissed,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, oh, it's not it's not that deep, or maybe you're overthinking it, or shouldn't you be stronger than this? And I mean, thinking about it, this Black women thing is also, I've heard people say, oh, you're a woman, so you should be able to handle childbirth. Like, it's not a big deal now. You're a woman, you're supposed to be strong. It's something you're born to do. Anyway, yeah, so that's one of the main things that we're unpacking today. So all the banter aside, now we're about to get into the why does it feel so, like, why does healthcare feel so tough for a Black woman? And it's not just in the UK. Even
Tough,
I know someone,
scary.
even someone in Canada, I remember, was complaining that you have to fight and advocate for yourself.
You know
Anyway,
like how bad
those are
it is.
things
Like
that
I was talking to a colleague of mine, and she mentioned like we were just casually talking about how unfair it is for Black women, and she was just like, IJ, I just want to let you know that if you want to go to the hospital, I can go with you so that I can be the one shouting for you, and then they would listen to me. Obviously, she was joking, but then I was just like, the fact that she had to
knows.
think of that
Yeah.
because she had actually done that for somebody, and it was just like, excuse me, you need to answer this person, and then she was like adequately responded to immediately. As a like, so imagine you say, oh gosh, just not like if you have any Black friends that need me, I can volunteer and just go. I'm like, you need to listen to her now.
Bless her.
And so that's why we have Joy on the podcast, because
thank
Joy,
you to have me.
we're going to ask you some questions, and Joy's going to be sharing her experience. So Joy, what has your experience been?
Tell us.
With the NHS and as a, supposed strong Black woman.
First of all, let me say that I'm grateful I'm alive today. 'Cause left to NHS, they will have killed me.
Hey.
My experience has been like a tough one and a difficult journey. And I think, let me just start by saying that looking back, one thing that I took from that is that the gift of sound health is one that should never be taken for granted. Because looking back, when I was in Nigeria, I don't think I used to visit hospital like this, or the old drama of like I need to see a doctor, or like
Drawing your blood every 5 seconds.
yes. But when it all started, and first of all, as a Black person, when something is wrong in your body, right? And then I tried to get an appointment and they were dragging. And it got to a point that, like an emergency state kind of, and I had to go to the A&E. First of all, we spent 8 hours. 8 hours. And I can't believe it. 8 hours with a lot of people there. And you see so many people in pain. You just have to like scream for yourself. Ask for help. And I remember being seen, and then I was just given IV antibiotics, drip, and then I was sent back home. And I was told, if you feel any other pain, go to your GP. Don't come back to the hospital, which I find very weird, And
So they said, don't come back to the hospital.
don't come to the hospital. Go to the GP. And I was even told, I should have gone to the GP first. I'm like, well, it takes forever to get GP to give me an appointment to start with. So then the problem was not solved. I had to go back again because, and all this going back, it's not me going back. I was literally carried there.
Oh, wow. This was an emergency
yes, like
state.
an emergency. I can't walk by myself. So the second time, I remember again, 8 hours. And this time around, I was very adamant. I'm like, I want to see a doctor. Don't get me wrong, there are doctors in the A&E, but they're just, I don't know how to describe it. I don't think they are the kind of people that can really go deep into what's wrong with you. It's just like they're just like, oh, you have a headache. They're not really doing as much. So I just had to insist, I'm not leaving this place because I definitely knew that something was wrong, and we're not solving this issue by you giving me antibiotics and you're sending me back home. You're just trying to bring down my infection markers and you're sending no, there's more to this. And I remember telling the doctor in the A&E that I'm not going. After all I was on the I have pictures, they gave me the drip and everything. I'm like, I'm not going. After this drip, I want to see the gynecologist because as at this time, I started having discharges. I've never seen that kind of color before. And I was already scared that, there should be more to this. Why are you not scared? Why are you not, why don't you think, and you're telling me it's just my infection markers. Yes, my infection markers are high. You want to bring it down, but, let's try to find out what is more. And I remember staying there for so long. It was my anniversary day, actually. And I refused to leave. And I started shouting, I want to see the gynecologist. And eventually they told me it's going to take hours. I'm like, I'll wait. That is after 8 hours of waiting, I'm going to wait. And eventually the gynae came and she was like, okay. You know how they can be they just want to see you in 5 minutes and 6 minutes. I'm like,
you're doing their rounds.
Yeah. And I was like, there's more. There's definitely something wrong. There's more to this. And I remember they're okay, yeah, they're going to book me an appointment. And I thought it was going to be quick.
When
was
it?
It wasn't.
How long? How far away?
I was I went, this experience was in, first of all, March. My appointment was for October.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So by the time I landed in September, which was my anniversary, and they were trying to keep me till my October appointment.
So that's why they kept sending you.
Yes, that's how they kept just
they had seen on your
trying
file.
to bring that everything and just wait for that October, right? And I just had to start screaming. Also, I want to say this, in the whole process of like me going to A&E, there was one time and when I saw the guy and they were like, oh, we need to do scan, we need to do this, but because you're so young, we don't want to expose you to radiation. We don't want to, I'm like, I've done it in my country. Like, I've done this test in my country before. And just having that record really helped because they weren't going to like put me to do that test.
Yeah.
They're just going to like still keep me there and start debating and they do a lot of I know it's like good at trying to analyze, trying to like get the best for you, but it can be annoying considering that you are in a lot of pain. So just having my result from Nigeria also helped and I was able to do the scan and then we would say this is the problem now. Solving the problem was the issue. We have to wait for the appointment that has been booked for October. And that's where the drama started. And it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of me landing in the hospital. They send me back with antibiotics and then I'm back again because we're not solving the problem. We're trying to like,
push you to that appointment day.
Yes, push it to that appointment day and try to like manage. And I feel like they do a lot of like managing. Like we're trying to manage the symptoms. We're trying to manage. Yeah. Yes, and not really good. Because I feel like in Nigeria, if you have this problem, we're going in hard. Bam, I was solving the problem. But here, we're giving you everything gentle. Because I remember one of my friends that used to be a nurse in Nigeria and she's a nurse here. When she saw one of the antibiotics they gave me, and she was like, why did they give you this? Like, you solve this problem once and for all. And to cut the long story short, because I didn't get seen on time, I ended up like almost having a sepsis.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had to have like an emergency surgery at that point. So
how did they figure out that you needed surgery?
Well, because I landed in the hospital again, and this time around, my body was shutting down. Like, my infection markers were really high. Of which, when I landed, I had to, like, fight to be admitted because there were no beds. So I was, like, on their wheelchair, waiting for hours to get bed. And then they will say, oh, we need to call the bed manager, this, that. They're just going back and forth. It can be frustrating because
the thing where they say that the NHS is overwhelmed.
Yes.
There's that.
Yes.
There's that as well. But, okay, we can understand that bit. But the part of where they kept sending you home and then...
that's...
Because of they're trying to manage the symptom. They're managing. They don't really go deep into
the
like and solve the problem. Again, we can also say because they are overwhelmed, they're trying to get as much as people out of the A&E.
So they're trying to reduce the time they spend with each person.
Yes.
That sounds like a lot. Because I'm sure that if we sit down with a doctor and they try to explain it to us, we'll be like, I see. Like there'll be one.
They're going to kill you for this.
No, I mean this in a very good, because honestly there'll be one maybe logical explanation where you're like, oh, we don't see the behind the scenes. And we
had a doctor, because Toyosi came to see, and she was trying to explain from her side, which was not like, honestly, we are overwhelmed and all of that. And I understand that bit, but then you cannot take away the fact that there was so many aspects of neglect, so many points where they could have acted on things that they had seen, because it was clear as day. Because I remember when you said to me that it was when they came to the one of the doctors came in and they were like, oh my gosh, we didn't realize that.
Yeah, because when I was admitted, first of all, I said I was going to go to the Flagyl because of how much I've used Flagyl. Apparently, Flagyl is like a very big antibiotics here.
Yes, it is. Nigerians.
Stop using the Flagyl.
I mean, I'm
antibiotic resistance.
I'll probably still use it when I travel. I probably will still use it again. So.
Don't. Because of how I have used antibiotics. So they were using, like, it's called metronidazole here. They were giving me metronidazole, but it wasn't working for me. I was vomiting.
Because you had resistance.
doing it. Yes. So because of how much, like, I've used it, there's now a resistance. It wasn't working. But I was trying to tell them that it's not working. I remember a doctor telling me, I can't say it's not working. That it's working, it might just take time. I was like, it is not working. Like, I know my body. I'm supposed to feel better. I'm feeling worse. You're telling me it is not working. So I was on admission, and they kept giving me that, like metronidazole, but it wasn't working. And by this time, when things were getting like bad, by the way, they take blood every day, so they keep poking me, taking my blood, to just check that markers. It's not going down. Like, so they now had to start, we need to talk to the people in the lab. We need to have these. What can we use for you? Blah, 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 blah. So in that process, I wasn't getting any better. I was getting worse. And there was, I think that morning, my consultant ran in and she was like, oh my God, Ade, because she calls me Ade. Ade, your blood is not going it's going crazy. Everything is not working. And I'm like, what's she saying? Like, I've been
Like
telling you that.
Is that what I've been saying?
I've been telling you, you're not listening. And she was like, we need to take you to the theater. I thought she was joking. And because they don't allow people to sleep over, my husband was at home. So she ran in. I was like, what's she saying? And then she left. Before I knew what was going on, like,
prepping you
they
for
were already, like, the nurse was already changing my dress.
How did we get here?
I had to call my husband. I was like, babe, they say there was
1 year now.
Honestly, he rode the bicycle to the hospital. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, I thought they were joking. Even till when they wheeled me to the theater, I still couldn't believe it. Because I was like, but I've been talking about this. And you people were telling me that I can't say it's not working. So I think then the anesthetic team, they came and they started talking. I feel like it was too much by that time because everybody's just trying to give you information. I'm just like, yeah.
Wow.
So that was how.
Wow, I'm so glad you're alive because honestly,
I am.
yes, it does. And I was going to say something. It's very sweet when you're watching medical shows because, like, the resident, the good doctor, when this thing you have to say,
CBC,
in real life.
Oh my gosh, medical shows are so exaggerated because you see the way the doctors focus on medical
One
patients.
person.
You see
Yeah.
that the problem that they can't figure it out. They're just like,
and they're just like, we need to figure
That's
it.
it.
I'm like,
but here
it's not.
because they'll spend sleepless nights thinking about one case, and you're like,
so.
oh my gosh.
And they're so obsessed with it, and then when they figure, they're like, oh my god.
No, it's not. It's not.
it's not fast paced like that.
They probably have like 10 patients they have to go and see.
Oh wow.
Oh man, thank God because it could have just gone.
Yeah, I'm really
different
grateful.
way.
Honestly, I'm really grateful because, I mean, I escaped sepsis twice. So it's
Was
a
there
lot.
any situation where it was like they could see you were in pain, but they were not giving you, or somebody just say to you, oh, she be able to handle this pain, or this not, you're saying on a scale of 1 to 10, what's this pain level like? And then if you say what number, they're like, nah, it should not be that level.
Yeah.
It should be
Actually,
like-
that's what they ask you on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, what's your pain level? And I remember, I think it was one of the time we were in A&E, and I was like 10. And this person said to me, the nurse, she was like, if it's 10, you'll be crawling on the floor. Yeah. And I was like,
So it's
it
until I
is
die.
10.
no, I'm a black woman, that's what I'm standing.
So it's until I die.
And I was like, it is 10. I was really screaming and shouting, like, it is 10. I'm in pain. It's like, and she was like, if it's 10, you're gonna be. I'm like, I don't have to be crawling on the floor.
Yeah, for me
And
to
it's
be
also
okay.
because a lot of people, like, there's that side of you have to act drama for them for you to be seen. So you see people dramatizing, and then they are like, so they just naturally say, oh, if I was upset because I was like, what do you mean if it's
What time
really
was
10?
this? Around what time was this? I just want to check something.
I think it should be last year.
No, I mean like time of the day.
It's night though.
Okay, so night shift.
So night
shift, yeah.
It's night though. It's middle of the night.
Even like, see, okay, so I want to talk about a different experience, but so part of my job description as a house assistant in a boarding school is to be medical cover. So if a student is ill, I'd have to take them for their medical appointment because it's a boarding school, their parents live far away, so I have to take them to their medical appointments. Other times it's A&E trips, and I've had a couple of A&E trips, and I'm a black woman, and most of them are white children.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be with my medical, my ID, work ID all the time and stuff, but I've seen a couple of my colleagues with similar job roles not have that, but I don't have that luxury to
No, you
not
cannot.
have that, to not have my ID. So I have my ID with me all the time. And on this particular occasion, actually, when I go, first of all, I get the whole So I make sure that my ID card is very visible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, hello, we have an appointment, please. And then we do all the whole, ask the child the date of birth. And then we do, okay, who do you have here with you? The child is like, oh, that's a house parent. And I'm like, yes, it's a boarding school. I'm on medical cover. So they say, okay. I still get the looks of like, But then there's almost like a mental check they do for themselves. They're like, let me check myself. Let me not do this.
Yeah.
But on this one occasion, no. I was like, so I brought this child. The mother was aware, obviously, because at the start of term, we make parents sign that if there is any medical situation, there will be a house parent that takes them to their medical appointment. So parents have signed permission, just like how they sign medical permission, they sign medication permission and all. So we are able to administer drugs to them, medication to them.
Not drugs, though.
Yeah, medication.
Medication to them. So on this particular trip, I go to the hospital, and then I just say, we have an appointment. The receptionist, very nice lady. I think the lady looked like, I saw her name, so I think she was either Nigerian-ish, south side. So she just smiled, but she had been living here for a while. So I was like, hi. And then we waited to be called. Then it was not even a doctor, it was a nurse practitioner. She called the child in. As I was walking into the door, because I have to be present in the appointment as well.
Yes.
She just stopped, like held her hand. She was like, and who are you? I said, I'm the house parent. I am chaperoning him on this medical appointment. He's like, oh, I wasn't told anything about that. She looked at me again. She was like, huh. She now asked the boy, do you know who this person is?
Oh, wow.
The boy was like, yes, this is a house parent. She said, okay. We have to call your parents to be sure that this is allowed or something. So I walk in. I was like, and I texted my colleague and I said, has this ever happened to you? Like, I got to the hospital and they're asking me this question. She's like, nope. And she has been to the hospital several times. I said, okay. So let me not jump to discrimination as the first thing on my mind.
Yeah.
I checked with her. I checked with the other colleague. They said no. I said, okay. Before the woman even started the check, she's probably spent like 10, 15 minutes assessing me. She now said, sorry, what's your name? I carried out my ID card, so she will see the logo, the school, everything. I said, you see my position, you see when I started. And then she was like, oh, okay. She said, but I actually need to talk to his mother first. Then I spoke to the boy. I said, can you give her the number? Or we can call her on the phone. She said, no, we would have to call the parents. So she got to the number of the child's phone, and then she calls his mother. The mom was so shocked because she was like, why are you calling me? Like, then the nurse was like, oh, I've got someone that says that the house parent of this school, are you aware that she's here? She's like, yeah. She now called my name that, yes, she's here. She said, oh, okay, I'm just checking, it's hospital policy to do this.
But the hospital policy that they've not done for other people.
He did that, then she finished. She has gotten confirmation from the mother. Let's establish that fact. Then it was time to see the boy. She will pause in between the checkup with the boy, and I'm like, actually, sorry, what's your name again? I said, okay. She now wrote the name down. So I said, okay, I'll have to call with the nurse to confirm this.
Confirm what?
She continued. She said, can you give me your number? I said, I'm not comfortable with giving you my number, but I can give you the front of house phone number, and they can direct you to the nurse that you can call and you can speak to this person. Then she said, okay. And I said, actually, what's your name too? Because I can also call and confirm and let the nurse know that you're doing this. She said, no. I said, no, I actually need it. So, because I don't appreciate being treated like this. I'm only here to do my job and you're treating me like this. And then she kept quiet. Because the child was so confused.
Because it's never happened before.
The child was in pain. Let's start there. So it's not something that they were investigating and it's not physically visible. The child was in pain. And then this was what was happening. Then she was like, oh, okay. And I gave her the front of house phone number. Appointment finished. I was so annoyed. Got back, went straight to the nurse's office. I was like, this is what happened. The nurse was so annoyed. She was like, I personally called and said, we will be coming with a house parent to this appointment. So why was she behaving that way? That she was not supposed to do that. She was not supposed to do that. So like,
you've done all the right things.
So like, the discrimination from one end to another end, and I'm just like,
and like you said about knowing their names, because I remember when all of this drama, And one of the things that used to piss me off, especially, I remember one time when I was in the wheelchair and I was just sitting and they're like, oh, I was vomiting. They just give me a bowl. Like, everybody just walking and behaving like nothing happened. But one thing is also, because I had already, like, mastered the name, you know, that badge, like that yellow badge, I did ever look at.
Ace,
I
yellow
look
shirt.
at very well and cram the names. So because I already crammed the names of all the doctors, all the consultants, all the nurses that, like, I've come in contact before. So this time around when I was there, I just started shouting, "Can I see this person, please?" And at some point, my husband has to say to me, "Are you really in that much pain?" I was like, "Yes," and I'm going to keep screaming until they call this doctor for me. And I remember that everybody was like, that screaming like got their attention. And like, "Oh, we're gonna get the doctor." I'm like, "Right, you need to do it because I'm already sitting here for how long? I'm vomiting. I'm like everything is happening to me, and everybody's just walking. They're just like."
So it almost feels like we have to
Advocate
and
Yes.
cause trouble in quotes.
if you are,
Yes.
but if you are physically in pain, like you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
help me!" Like,
That was the experience. Like, I'm vomiting. I'm like, "Can I see the doctor? Where's the doctor? Where's the nurse?" I'm like, ugh.
I understand the being overwhelmed part, but there should be a sense of urgency at some point when dealing with people. But if you already have at the back of your mind that this set of people can endure so much, then obviously it would affect the way you attend to them.
Let me even say, when I was in the hospital and when I was admitted, and when the nurses are doing their rounds, where they come and give you your medications and everything, sometimes I'm like the last person to get my medication, even though, like, according to your bed, even if I'm like number 2. Yeah, because again, like, the white people were like, I had like so many, I was the only black. All the time that I've been there, I was the only black. And then you see them ringing the bell. Like, sometimes I'm like,
Bruh.
like, the nurse is probably, "Okay, sorry, I'm going to be with you shortly." Or they're already with me. They've started. You see somebody press the bell again.
Until they relieve you.
And then you're like, they have to, because again, some of them are like,
Older.
yeah, they're older. And you just have to, even me, sometimes I just tell the nurses, "Okay, just go." Because I know that they're going to keep pressing that bell. And they'll keep causing nuisance. Yeah.
I just says I like to do devil's advocate, but that's not the case. I just like to look at things from another side, because sometimes I try to think, if I was speaking to maybe a nurse or a doctor, how would they explain this? Would they say, "Oh, we've been told to maybe prioritize XYZ things"? Do you understand? Like, I'm trying to understand what is their, I will get to
They'll
you, ma.
always say
what
they're
is their
overwhelmed.
thought process behind it. Yes, ma.
Okay, so I can understand this part of the question of being playing devil's advocate. So what would be the devil's advocate side for my experience with that child and chaperoning?
No, that one, there is no.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
Maybe
No,
it's a black woman with a white child.
No,
I just
that
want to
one.
check.
Maybe,
No,
just
no,
maybe.
no.
In case,
no,
in
no, no.
case,
Especially if, I mean, it's not as if the school already followed all the procedures.
Do you
Yes.
understand
There's absolutely
the level
not for that
of-
one.
the level of checks schools do
Yeah.
for you to be qualified? You know now.
Tell them.
Exactly, and they would have
Everything
called the
about
hospital
me.
in advance, and you had an ID and all.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. And if it's that it's something they've done to other people, say okay,
No.
policy, but it just feels like singling you out.
I
No, that one.
now even understood, because the next appointment I went for, the doctor was not like, "Okay, we just let you know, we'll call the parents, blah 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 blah." So they called the parents, and then that was. But the way it was done was completely different from the way it was done.
yeah.
Like, what's your name? Let me see your ID. Let me see. I was looking at this one.
Yeah,
just like,
no, that one. There's no devil's advocate for that
let's
one.
play now, in case, in case.
I don't, honestly, for that one. No, I'm even just talking about like the hospital thing. Where it feels like, because it doesn't make sense that they're giving your meds last if maybe your bed is the second one. It doesn't.
Yeah, because sometimes you just like it happens. I also understand from like a perspective of, I understand that they are humans as well, because I remember that sometimes I tell the nurse, like, just go, like, because I don't know, it was just a whole lot, to be honest.
That sounds like a lot too.
Yeah.
Sorry, we need to be taking pictures for Instagram.
Well, so at the end of the day, and I think something like this also happened to our friend where when he had that emergency and he was not attended to quickly and he felt like he was dying.
It was still the same.
And the same thing.
Issue where they attended first, they treated something else.
Yeah.
Then now came back. They're like, oh my gosh, we need to rush you to surgery right now.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Literally.
Yeah. So it's really sad. So it almost feels like we have to advocate for ourselves.
Yes, you have to
So
listen.
and I think it's like we have.
I think we need to have a doctor on this podcast. Just so that, let's hear their side.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
We have it. We have it. Yeah, it's true. We even have. We have doctors that we could. Yeah, we have doctor friends. What I was going to say is, it feels like we have two things against us. So one, we are women. So there's that thing where it's like, oh, you say you're in pain. For example, I know the time when I had menstrual pain and someone was telling me I'm taking it.
That thing gets
I'm
me
over hyping
triggered.
it that, oh, it's not that deep because she doesn't have menstrual. I'm like, how does that one affect?
It is deep.
How does that one affect me? How does that affect?
So I watched the show and
Yeah.
this lady, it was just like this feel good show, and then they asked a question and they're like, is it okay to cancel a date if you're on your period? And the responses were like, of course, and all of that. And this lady, I don't know whether she was trying to feel like, I'm advocating for the men. She now said,
on Twitter, they call them pick me.
yeah, pick me ladies. And then she was just like, come on, you've had your period for over 30 years. You should be used to it by now.
No.
Slap your face.
By the way, this lady has come online to talk about how she rarely gets her period. Like, by the time she discovers that she's on her period, it's already done. So she rarely has pads in her house, has that whole emergency kit and all. I'm like, of course you will say that.
Exactly.
Of course, you're one of God's favorites. You're the one that-
Exactly.
Do you understand?
You should be waking up every day and say, God, I thank you.
There was a time
You have no idea what it feels like.
I had cramps. I could not walk.
Yes. Yes.
Like my mom had
Yes.
to be carrying my legs.
Yes.
Like if anyway, like what I wanted to say was, so it's like as women you are expected to be strong, or it's like you are exaggerating your pain.
Yeah.
Then as a black woman, you are now facing a level of discrimination, a level of XYZ thing. So you are fighting as I'm a woman and I'm black.
Yeah.
Help
On
me.
top of all that,
Exactly.
on top of all that, there's now 15 years you're thinking about. So imagine. So imagine.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like there's just so much that you have to fight against, so to say. It sounds like a lot.
You're fighting on all fronts, honestly.
I'm honestly so glad that you're here to tell this story, because it's easy to say this story and it just sounds like a story, but you are the one that knows how long and how it felt.
Yeah.
I think amongst everything, advocating for yourself is a skill to learn. Just
It is.
learning. So it's not just like, oh, I need to speak, or like learning how to fight on every front. It's something that
Yeah.
Black women need to learn how to do, because if you're quiet, it might cost you your life, actually.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to your health.
Yeah, women's health.
Yeah.
There was this lady that they talked about on BBC that she went several times, I think over 12 times or so. By the time they finally said, oh, something was stage 4 ovarian cancer, ovarian,
that's so sad.
this thing, and then she died. So it was, she went to the GP a lot of times, and they're like,
And I also feel like sometimes pains get dismissed. So I know that sometimes doctors have said that people come to the hospital for trivial things. I know that they say that happens.
Yes.
But also sometimes I feel like if I'm coming to say, for example, I don't even want to say this, I've been having some sort of pain for a while now. I've not gone to the hospital because last time I was at the hospital, they told me I needed to change my shoes, that was the problem. Yes, it got better, but the pain is there. Okay, so it just feels like it's dismissed, like, it's okay. Maybe just paracetamol. But I think there's something wrong. I think there's something
paracetamol
deeper.
just masks the pain, and then it's just
exactly.
if
And
there's something wrong, it just
it doesn't go away. I'm just not feeling the pain anymore. I just feel like sometimes pain gets dismissed where it feels like it's trivial, and I don't know where the balance is, because also doctors might come and say, do you know how much resources we'll spend investigating everybody?
bullshit. Gosh, sorry, that just came out of nowhere.
So, and then it's like, but my pain is valid.
You know,
your pain is valid. Your pain is valid.
We're forced to now think about, like, for instance, now if I need to have something investigated, I'm just like, you know what, I'll just go to Nigeria where I know that I'll
Yeah.
just pay for a
I'll
private
pay
service.
for
Yeah.
I'll pay
And
for a
people
private
do that.
And
service,
people do
yeah.
that because they're just like, you know what, I need to do a full body check, but I need to focus on this particular area. I'll go to
Yeah.
Nigeria, find a private
Yeah, not gonna lie,
service
there's
or
so many
something like-
things that I'm planning to do when I go to Nigeria. Like I already have checked.
I know.
Dental
Like,
check.
because private here
It's a lot of money.
we need that second
It
stream of
is.
income.
Yeah,
You need
yeah, and but I mean, also it is a privilege because private in Nigeria too. I think it's affordable because we are earning in pounds.
We're earning in
Yeah.
pounds.
You know,
See,
so
this is that 10K conversation.
Yeah,
You're
so
sending
it's
10K. You're sending 10K, but you have money for. Okay, to be fair, healthcare is good. It's
exactly.
important.
But yeah, I think I would like if I once I can afford it, I think I would like to do private
We do
healthcare.
private
Yeah.
healthcare.
Yeah, but anyway,
yeah,
we're
it
coming,
just makes everything
Yeah,
easier, honestly.
we're coming to the end of our. We're
I
coming
feel
to
like
the end of the podcast.
my chest is still paining me from the things I'm thinking about, but it's a bit lighter.
So, do you have any final words for us, Ayo?
I think my final word will be don't be afraid to advocate for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid. Like, it might look like you're crazy. What are you doing? But fight for yourself as much as possible. You know, fight to be heard and fight to be seen.
yeah.
If something is not working for you, you understand your body more.
Body
So
more, yeah.
say it and don't let them tell you, oh, people have like side effects. That's a side effect. Or yeah, it doesn't really happen to but it's happening to me now. So,
Yeah.
you know, fight for yourself as much as possible.
Okay. We have come to the end. Okay, we're still recording. We have come to the end. Thank you guys for listening. I'm keep rushing before they stop recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And thanks so much for coming.
No,
Ayo.
anytime,
Say, please
no
wrap up. We are
Bye.
done. Bye.
Bye.